Hello, hello, and welcome. This is Lizzabitty. We will be starting soon. I am having some technical difficulties. Just give me a second, please. All right, it's not doing what I want. Hello, 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 hello. There we are. If you can see me and hear me, please let me know. Let me fix the volume here on my microphone. I am likely going to have to put my robe on. As you know, I am always cold, okay? So as you come on in, please tell me where you're coming from. Put your details into the chat. Hey, Liz, how you doing? Wake up, Africa, yay. Welcome to the stream. I hope that everyone is fine. Be sure that you have your libations. I have some water today, okay? Okay? Okay, you can see and hear. Awesome. Look. I love that she is using her other cues and not just words. That is great. I appreciate it. So as you come in, tell us where you're hailing from and all that good juice. Now, I know where Liz is coming from. Wake up, Africa. Where are you in the world? Tell us about where you are in the world. Yes. So I got my stuff over here set up. So as you can see from today's title, that this is supposed to be a candid chat. Hello, Peter, and welcome from Florida. This is a candid chat just about our new frontier and where we're going to go from here, okay? As it pertains to Mama Alkebulan, my email box is always full of people sending me messages from all over, okay? And what's interesting is it's a mere fact that I cannot get to all of these emails and answer all of these emails as I would like to. Now, intermittently between this broadcast, it's not going to be long, but I'm going to be having our sponsor, who is the Nick Knackery shoe store. You could go over there and check them out, but you'll see the commercial come out later. Anyway, hello, the savvy entrepreneur and Ernest Danso out of the UK. Oh, wake up, Africa, Lagos. Awesome. Our sister Liz here will be moving to Nigeria, in 4 months. Pardon me. Hello, Miss T-Versation. Hey. So, for those of you who are watching, there's 13 of you. Let's keep the likes to the amount of people that we have in here. We have 14 watching, but we only have 6 likes. Now, come on. I think we can do a little bit better than that. What do you all reckon? I think we can. Yes, I can. Knock me easy. Yo, what is happening, bro? How are you? How are you doing? How are things out here in the world? Yes, you all are getting them there. You're getting them there. So, okay, so I wanted this to be a good, positive conversation. Again, it's not going to be long. Listen, let me put my robe on. I'm cold. Okay, I'm always cold. Just give me a second, okay? Because I got to put my robe. I'm cold. Now, I have turned the air off, all right? But that makes no difference, okay? So you're going to have to pardon me for having this robe on, but I'm cold. All right. Okay, well, work your back to America plan, and we're going to work our back to Africa plan. Hello. Okay. So there's lots going on in the news. I don't know if you all are familiar, with what the purpose of uranium is for. I was merely having a discussion with a friend of mine today, and we were talking about uranium and what's actually happening on the continent with uranium. What I didn't realize was, and forgive my naivete, is that Niger was the fourth largest producer of uranium in the world. And as you know, we need uranium for electricity as well as needing it for nuclear plants, nuclear energy. Okay. And so there's a lot going on over there with our brothers and sisters who are in in okay, I'm not sure what's happening with my stream. It's always something. It's always something. Excuse me. And so when you think about all of the natural resources that are in these countries and how everyone else is coming onto the continent and they want to take. So with the title and saying our frontier, basically do I want to call it the new frontier, or is that more cliche? We as a collective have to see that, of course, one, there's unity in numbers. There's unity in numbers. And whether you're actually going to move onto the continent or you want to invest in the continent, now is the time for the picking, i.e., natural resources. I am in so many different groups. And what I typically find is that in these different groups, people are investing all over the continent in different things. It could be in agriculture, it could be in natural resources like gold and silver, etc. I've talked about on mining here before. So when you think about what's happening on the continent and the people who, even in small groups, are investing, you should be asking yourself, are you investing as well? Whether you're moving onto the continent or not. Because what is going to happen, and what typically happens with us, people of melanated descent, we wait until the last hoorah to get on board with something, and then we miss out. I'll give you an example. When the internet came and the bubble bust, yes, you had some melanated folks who became millionaires, but also you had some who were not millionaires because they had missed out. I remember when the internet came out. I mean, I was a teenager. And so I'm saying, just in terms of the natural resources and everything that's happening and people who are actually coming onto the continent for investment purposes, we have got to do our best to be in a group, to be collective as well, to make some of this stuff happen for us as well. As we all know, the reason why African Americans, blacks in America, I'm going to speak from America because that's where I'm from. The reason why we were locked out of all the wealth you see is primarily due to land. And the story of the 40 acres and a mule, there you go. You have a lot of people, when you still had segregation going on, who were a part of all of the industrialization that was happening. Maybe they lived in California. California has a sordid history about all of the land rights and things that were happening and how the government was complicit in people being locked out of home ownership. And a lot of those people who actually own homes, people who didn't look like you and I, these people, these people did not, their families, because they didn't own homes, they didn't actually get to partake in the generational wealth that was built off real estate. A lot of the homes, they were on the shoreline and all this stuff. So what I am saying to you now is that, so we got a miscreant up in here. So what I'm saying to you, whatever your portfolio looks like for investments, our frontier is Mama Alkebulan. There would be no nations, we're going to talk about industrialized nations, that could exist without Alkebulan. Don't listen to what these people tell you and all that stuff. It's true. You know why? Because the first order of business would be they wouldn't have cell phones. They wouldn't have these computers. All that stuff. because of the natural resources in these particular countries. Okay. And so when you think about what's going on, all right, and all of this stuff, we are going to end up missing out again. A lot of us are missing out when it comes to this new stuff, talk about cryptocurrencies and all of this. And so we have to do better about being at the cusp when all of this great stuff is happening, so that you can have your family building generational wealth as well. I remember someone came on my channel months ago, and we were talking about trademarks and things like that. And I was saying, maybe you want to trademark something and you just saying, well, I'm never going to make it a business or whatever, but you never know. It could possibly help someone in your, maybe your children or something later on, depending on how you have your attorney set it up, and you be able to pass it off. So these simple things. So I just feel like that we're missing a lot. There's a lot of development that is going on all over the country, all over the continent. And we are going to miss out, one, because we are too busy hating on each other, bashing people who actually want to repat, talking negative about those people that want to repat. You go, I'm going to go, I go. I have always and long said, this is not for everyone. And I don't want the people who are going to be plagues and cancers to the progress of others coming anyway. I don't want you anyway. And if you're not solid, I surely don't want you. Okay. So this is not for everyone. You go, I'm going to go where I go. But in the meantime, we have to put aside those differences to get to the business, to get into the business of us. And the business of us, our frontier, is Mama Alkebulan, and us being unified and making investments in thinking about your children and how real estate, just because you don't have to buy real estate, let's say in the West, you can buy real estate in other countries. So this is something that you need to think about, because real estate is booming. It's booming. It is booming. God is not going to make any more land. Okay. He's not. It's just the way it is. And so if you want to be able to leave something for your children, you don't have to necessarily have land in the West. There are other places with good prices. It's possible you could hold on to it until you perish, and then you make it where your kids can't sell it, and they hold on to it, and all this good stuff. But we have to be thinking about this for our children, and we are just not being proactive about all this good stuff. We really are not. Okay, I'm going to go to the comments. Let's see some of your comments that you all have. Let's see some of these comments that you all have. Okay, so let's see. We have King Kenyatta. Online has always been and always will be a profitable venture for now and the future. King Kenyatta, I will have to agree with you, just because of the simple fact that history has shown that is the case. A lot of times people say, well, they don't want to go out. They don't want to go off of things that happened in the past. But at times, things that happen in the past can perpetuate things that happen in the future. It's not that you're living in the past, okay? But we can learn a lot from those things that occurred in the past, all right? Here we go. Piper Solar Star says, we miss out because many just don't have the money nor know how. Well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to use the latter and not the former. The know-how. Now that may be it. Now, we all know that melanated people's buying power is very, very powerful. If you heard me just say, Piper, we have to be collective. You get in you some small groups. Okay, whatever little money you have, you pool it together. But we have to have a certain level of trust in that as well. We have to have a certain level of trust in that. Otherwise, we are going to be doomed. Pardon me. All right. So here we go. Let's say the savvy entrepreneur says, why someone who I thought had sense told me I am running away from America? Why would I run away? Who am I running from? I'm going to exactly. Listen. Savvy entrepreneur, when these people want to tell you that you're running away from America, you don't necessarily have to even dignify that with an answer. It's almost rhetorical. Exodus 8:76 put up a video today, and what he was doing was talking about how and why, basically how and why he's leaving. And one of the things that he mentioned in there, stuff is not getting any better. People, you see stuff that's continuously happening all the way around. When I'm always, and my brother Sly is in here, when I'm always on his channel and I'm talking, especially if he's talking about, hitting on subjects that are near the tone of police brutality. One thing that I always say is the mere fact that police brutality has been going on. People act like this stuff just started. They've been killing our men and women. This has been going on. But all of a sudden now, we want to act like this stuff just started. It hadn't just started. That's been going on. So the same thing with people telling you that, don't even dignify it. I wouldn't even dignify it. I would not. Okay, let's see what else she says. Why, when Black folk explore Africa, other descendants try to, shit on my dreams, but encourage and love 25-26. Of course they do. Of course they do. You know what else they do? Savvy entrepreneur. They talk about you for going to Alkebulan, but they go to these islands that are not popular with people that look like us. And then when they get what they got, they want to complain. Like, what? Huh? What? Who? I have made many videos as to why this journey is for me. It's a host. From health to just plain old unadulterated, I love Black people. All day, every day, 900 hours a day, 600 days a week. Now get your math together, because that's what it is. Hello, Nicole B. Thank you. And Savvy Entrepreneur says, if you don't want to join me, so be. Exactly. And remember, even these people who are saying this is not for everyone. It's not. We don't want everyone to come. I know I don't want everyone to come, because a lot of us Black Americans are on a bunch of bullshit. That's just real facts. That's who we are. I want to say, it might have been on Sly's channel since he's in here. I happened to catch something, and somebody was in the chat saying, if this was like a lot of pop culture stuff, a lot of these different channels would have exploded. But because people talk a lot of truth to power, etc., people typically do not want to watch those channels. And so channels like myself, Finish the Race VL, Exodus 8:76, it's hard growth for us. It's hard growth because we're not talking about pop culture or sensationalism in that regard. And so it's a struggle for us to grow. So, yeah. And then to even caveat off of that even more is this. When you think about how you have Black travel YouTubers, some of them, their channels, they don't get a lot of engagement. But then when you look at their counterparts in 25-20s in their engagement, we, people that look like me, are sitting over there perpetuating these people's channels, giving them all of these different views. Even though we know that we have melanated travel channels, we know that, but we are not supporting them. So I don't know if you all watched the channel, and I'll share it on my community tab. The lead attorney, he talked about this the other night when he had a video up about basically growing YouTube channels. And throughout that particular live, he was consistently talking about us supporting one another. He even brought up a channel that Blind Guy, his wife, their life supports a lot, is Rebuilding the Black Wall Street and what he has been doing. And he is absolutely correct. We have to support one another at all costs. It is what it is. But we say, because we want so much acceptance, what we are continuously doing is going elsewhere and not with our own. Just because I say, well, Lizzabitty does not practice Christianity, so something must be up with her. Or Lizzabitty does not practice Islam, something must be up with her. That's the craziest mess ever. Just because someone does not practice some of the stuff that you practice does not make them to be a pariah. Okay? Because some of the same folks who practicing a lot of this foolishness, they're the pariahs. Now, that's just the facts. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, let's go over back to the chat. Okay, Sonovia. Yes, it is, Sonovia. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, let's see. Piper Solar Star says, I think they poo-poo going to Africa because they're scared to go and they're scared to be left behind. You know, that now that is plausible, Solar Star. That is plausible. People in every facet of their life allows fear to stop them from doing a host of things. I mean, anything you could possibly imagine, as simplistic as it could be or as difficult as it could be. People do that. We stop ourselves because of fear, and that fear paralyzes us, and we tend to what? Shy away and say, hey, this is not something I can do, because they're so afraid. You know, my thing is, you have to at times let some of that go, for the mere fact that you won't have any good experiences. If I think about all of the thrill-seeking things I've done in my life, if I had allowed fear to paralyze me, I would not have experienced a lot of these things, you know. And so I totally agree with you. Let's see who we got here. Look here, this is my bro, Lance, in the house. Hey, Lance, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Okay, let's see. We got King Kenyatta says, we as the people have money for Jordans, Gucci, and Louis Vuitton, but seem to have a problem coming up with group. Brother, listen, say it. That's why I was trying to say to Piper Solar Star. I don't listen to that stuff. Because we put our money in places that it should not be. Okay? And since we do that, I cannot take what you're saying and all of that to be serious. I can't. Because we put our priorities wrong. You were so right. You were so right, brother. You were so right. So right. Leaders, not rulers. Never seen anyone speak facts. So thank you, leaders, not rulers. Thank you. All right, now we have Sonovia come up saying, I do not think the colonized mind can handle being around their kind due to self-hatred. You know, that is a possible cause too, my sister Sonovia. That is possible as well. But when you think about if your parents grew up, like my parents were born in the 40s. Now my mother's deceased, she's gone to the great beyond. But they grew up during the 40s in pretty much segregation, where they saw us like we see each other on the continent all the time, etc., except when they would go out to work. So maybe at times our parents did us a disservice by not passing some of that on to us because of this thing with integration. You know, I've said on this channel before, integration has jacked us up so bad. And it's just not only in the West, it is worldwide. It is worldwide. Anytime people worship others that don't look like them instead of their own, that's a true testament to you. That's a true testament to the dysfunction that goes on with us. Now, granted, a person, if you want to go over here and get with this and get with that, do that. But at the end of the day, one knows that you cannot keep your bloodline with all this stuff. You can't. That's just the facts. I don't care if you don't like it or not. It is what it is. That's the truth. You know, but people tend to do exactly as you just said. I totally agree. Let's see who else we got over here. Miss T Versation. Folks are looking for. Yes, go on death. Of course. Yes, Miss T Versation. Yes, I totally agree. But they'll go on the ears of someone else that doesn't look like us. But again, that goes back to what I was saying with my sister Sonovia's comment, is that speaks to the dysfunction of us, the dysfunction that we live in. You know, I've said on numerous videos here, before these folks decide to make their trek and live out their lives on Alkebulan, they need some therapy. That's real talk. Because we that come from the West, We got some screwed up ways. We have some screwed up ways. And I don't care who is in here and who doesn't agree with it, but it's the truth. We have some screwed up ways. And we need to get whatever mental dysfunction that we have in our minds, we need to get all that cleared out. It's kind of like starting a new slate. You know how you would be sitting there and you're trying to teach something and you got the board and you erase stuff, or even you erasing it on your paper? We need a clean slate so we can try to retrain our minds, because a lot of the stuff that we have been indoctrinated to, it is just a mess. And we're going to take some of that same mess across the water. And the truth be told is that our brothers and sisters don't need that. They got their own stuff going on. They don't need that. So sometimes you're going to have to bite the bullet and get yourself together. And you know, I mean, that's it. So it may pain you. And maybe you've never been a person that has gone and sought some type of psychological therapy. Because as Black folks in America, we want to go and tell the church all our business. Stop telling these pastors all y'all business. No. You telling him your business, and then you can't sue his behind when he go and tell your business to the congregation. Go get you a licensed professional, preferably to someone that can understand you culturally. Okay? But you need to go and get yourself some help. And a lot of us don't want to do that because we are so indoctrinated into the Black church that we think that, hey, no, I can't. I got to go tell this person, that person, and then your business is all out. Now, that has happened to me personally. Okay? Now, I got all kind of what we want to call testimonials with debauchery with us. But that does not stop me from wanting to continue my adventure, my stage play. You have to think of life as a consistent stage play, and you consistently have scenes and acts of the stage play where you exit the stage and then a new act comes along. That's how your life is. Your life is in stages like that. Yes. All right. So let's see some of these comments we got up here. Okay. Savvy Entrepreneur says, folks need to get back and let us do our thing. Failure is not an option, but if we do, chalk it up to life lesson. Exactly. But nobody has been mad into. Again, my sister, Savvy Entrepreneur. See, that is a part of the dysfunction. I've shared my story about my first time coming onto the continent as a young woman and all of the degradation I received. See, and the same people who are saying this, the bulk of them have never been on the continent. See, that's what gets me. Or the people who are trying to tell you about damn America, they've never even been there. They've never even been there. But it's the media. It's the media. It's the media. Which is why us telling our stories and our narratives is very, very important. Our stuff is very, very important from our perspective. Now, you, again, may not agree with a person's perspective as to how they're telling it, but coming from us, that is very, very important, especially if it is lined in truth. Now, if it is lined in lies and propaganda, we don't want any of that at all. At all. We don't. All right, let's see what else. Hello, Mr. Bailey. Eric B. We says, the ones who want us to go to the motherland should not be ridiculed. And also the ones who wants to stay in America should not be attacked either, because everyone, Eric, I agree. But the problem is that you have people on both sides of the spectrum, especially when you're talking about it in a negative light. People want to make others feel bad about that. And as I said, Eric, some of the people who are doing it, let's say, I'm only going to speak from America. They've never even been to Alkebulan. And then the ones in Alkebulan who are trying to say, why would you want to come here when you from over here? They've never even been to the U.S. So that's where the strife is coming. That's where the strife is coming. My contention has always been, this ain't for everybody. And I don't want everybody doing this. I don't. I just told you we got some untoward ways. and mess that we do. We're still human. We may be melanated, but we're still human and do stuff. Okay? We are still melanated and do stuff. Oh, my brother Lance. Hey, thank you. Edward Bailey says the hunger for what? Listen. Dove not. I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree with you. Piper Salter says, yes, we have adapted a lot of dysfunction to adapt to this oppressive society. Yes and no. A lot of the dysfunction that we have as well is not for us adapting. We want to do a lot of mess like others. Okay? I'm going to give you an example. I have mentioned this brother's channel numerous times, and I told you, go follow him. The young brother is good. He is called What Happens to Common Sense, okay? He did a live on Instagram, I want to say about a month or so ago with JT in the Pocket Watches or whatever. One thing he said on there, he said, every time you try to call out other melanated people who are scamming their own kind, they want to say all you're doing is bringing another black man down. And he is like, hold up. What are you talking about? And then they'll come back and say, well, you don't see our counterparts doing that. He said, well, you're lying. They got a whole series on CNBC called American Greed. And the people on American Greed do not look like you and I. So if they're calling out the people who are scamming them, we need to call out the people who are scamming us. I totally agree. So some of the dysfunction that you talk about, Solar Star, we have picked up that because we want to be like somebody else. No, this is not about us adapting. It's not, because black people were doing just fine in America before integration. We had more wealth before that. We had more family-oriented communities before all of that took place. So I don't fall for that. No way, no how, no kind. Nope. We are on a bunch of mess. And we have to call that kind of stuff out. Speak truth to power, if you will. No. Now, yes, we have adapted some dysfunction for the peril that was plagued upon us, but not everything. Not for other dysfunction when we talk about our own and how we do bad things against one another. Nope. I'm not going. Nope. My sister Liz says, never tell anyone. And baby, you better know. You better know. You best to know it. Your business will be all out in the street. Okay? Hey, bro. I was just telling. So that's Exodus 8:76. I was just telling you about his video earlier. Go and check that video out. It's not a long video, but it was really, really good. So go and check that video out. Miss Conversation says the best way to travel is inside. Listen. Miss Conversation, you know how I move. At times, we have a problem with being silent about moves that we're making, not even just with travel, but just in our lives as a whole. And that gets us every time. I totally agree with you. I totally agree. It's funny because I remember I was at, I think it was called the Good Baker. And I had gone live there. My sister Sonovia was in there, and she was like, I didn't say where I was at first. I'll say, I'll tell you as I'm leaving out where I am. And I was like, you know how I am. I don't just tell. No, I don't. And it's not like because I am a local celebrity or anything. You have to protect your own energy at all costs. You have to have your own discernment at all costs. And just because Sonovia may be for my good, it doesn't mean that everybody else is for my good. Okay? So you have to be strategic about that, not only with travel, but with every kind of move that you make. Because people, you have a lot of what we call negative Nellies, and they'll try to downtrodden everything that you say. And that's not that is not what we want. That is not what we want. And if you are a person who your mood and decisions that you make are predicated off of a lot of negativity or things that people spill and that you hear, you hear here, and then you internalize in here, baby, you need to turn off. Because as my papa would say, you don't have a strong constitution. So since you don't have a strong constitution, you need to get out. So that people don't start to impregnate your mind with all this stuff that you know is going to get you off your square. See, no one is going to get me off my square. No one. It is what it is. It may take a person, it may take me longer to get there, but I'm not going to allow people being nefarious to get me off my square. Think about that. Think about that. All right, let's see who we got over here. Adoquabina, we need to visit the motherland so we can give accurate narrative. Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree with you. Savvy Entrepreneur says, I shared my ancestry results with a female relative and she denied her Africanness. Imagine my surprise when her pics with a male African coworker of theirs flashed across my timeline in Togo. Oh my God. Now that is hilarious. Okay. That is hilarious. Let's see what my bro says. Oh, yes, I did. Mad Capper. No, I will not. Sorry. That's what we've got. Thunder Dog asking Black American people to come to Africa, disrespecting and insulting us ain't gonna work either. If I was American, I wouldn't listen to y'all. Oh, listen. You must have just come in, Mr. Thunder Dog. You must have just come in. Okay? No one is insulting you. You know, there is something to also be said about those in the diaspora who are actually saying they want to come back from whence our ancestors derived themselves, okay? And you may be experiencing some hiccups. I'm going to give you an example. My girl here finished the race VL. She had several videos about some experiences that she had in Nigeria. That is not stopping her or getting her off her square. See, some of you folk like to harp on that. And then when that person, because that is a part of life, there is no utopia. You're going to always have hiccups along your journey, along your stage play. Okay? And whatever those hiccups are, it doesn't mean that she's going to get off her square. She keeps persevering. I mean, you all are sitting back and having degradation for people that say they are tired, they want to try something new. You know what's funny? Most of the people who are in here now, we got 46 people in here. 75% of you folk are parents. And when your children do something that doesn't work for them, you will tell them either go try again or try a different way. So now as an adult, we're trying something a different way. And now you blasting us for trying a different way. Now, how does that work out? See, and when I say that you parents are the biggest hypocrites, you all don't like that. But it's the truth because that's how you all are. That's what you folk do. Your clear-mindedness at times gets clouded by your own hypocrisy because you all are hypocrites. Now, you telling me to do this, but yet you're doing the direct opposite over here or over here. Stop all that. Stop. People are going to matriculate throughout life and there will not be a utopia. They're going to get sick at some point. Okay? They're going to need medicine, be it Western medicine at times, depending on what the sickness is. They're going to matriculate through life. So stop all that. Stop being divisive. Yes, at times there are things that are shocking to us. I get shocked every time I talk to a continental African about some stuff that I feel like I think they should know. I do. Because it surprises me that they don't know certain things. But again, that's where that bridge comes in. Because they know stuff that I don't know. And they probably feel the same way about me when they see that I don't know things that they think that I should know. You see, it goes both ways. Yes, it does. All right, let's see who we got here. My bro says, were you? That's okay, bro. That's okay. From hey Gemini, hey you, Hey, 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 hey. Yes, Mad Kappa. Greetings, my sister. Let's see here. I'm just trying to speak. Been cheating and scared. Yes. You know, it is so crazy that people think like this, but this is how they think. Or even with you saying that, right? Even with you saying that. The people who don't want to go, but remember, it's not for everybody. They're going to sit and tell you about being scammed all the time on the continent. I don't understand it. Who do you think started all the scamming? Who are the masters of the scamming? I'm going to tell you a story. And some of these folks in here who are my age, you all going to know this story. Especially my sister Liz. Being a Texan. Who remembers Enron? Who remembers Enron? And how all those employees had their monies tied up in 401k linked back to Enron. And when the scam happened, them people lost all their money. You had people who were ready to retire. They had been at that company for eons. Now having to go back to work. People in their late 60s and stuff, working at fast food joints in Walmart. Yeah. But you all come on here and tell me about a scammer. Don't tell me nothing about no scammer. I don't want to hear it. Because I've been scammed by all kinds of folks. People that look and do not look like me. So I find it egregious that you all want to come on here and make it like the only place that scamming goes on is on the continent. When you come from the West and the people who originated the scamming, these are the ones that y'all vote into office every day, including the people that look like me. Now, how you like that? How you like that? Yup. And that's it. Oh, yeah. Here we go. My sister says. Exactly. See, this is what I'm saying. And she's still going home. Because there's hiccups in life. Miss T says, there is no free pass when experiencing life. What life has to offer. Exactly. 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 Let's see. I always check that. Oh, okay. My friend already tried. Let's see here. Thunderdog says, whose ancestors came? You still believe in it? Are you really American? A lot of us know the truth. We ain't Africans and our God. Okay. Well, that's your story. Don't come tell me my story. Tell your story. Don't tell mine. All right? Tell your story, but you can't tell mine. See, I am the writer of my own stage play called AKA My Life. So don't bring your writing hand to tell my life story. You got it all wrong, Chief. I got 2 master's degrees. I can tell my own story. Thank you. Thank you. Look at my bro. Hey, how you doing? How are you doing? He says, I remember when I moved out of my neighborhood, how I was verbally attacked and told, we need brothers like you to stay and be role models. I see it as abandonment. You know what? Could be. That could be a part of it too, XDMC. That could definitely be a part of it. It could be. And you know what? At times, it's kind of like, I was sharing this story with someone about what it feels like to lose a parent, specifically my mother. And how even though my mother and I did not have a great relationship, the loss of her nearly crippled me to death. And so I was saying the same thing because I felt abandoned when she passed. I really, really did. Like all of the stuff that we had gone through, it ceased. So it's possible. It's possible in the sense of this too. Well, X, you leaving and dang, I won't get to do all these things that we normally do together. And so instead of just saying I'm solemn about you leaving, I begin to perpetuate negativity. Very likely. Very likely. Let's see what she say, bro. You have to learn patience in dealing with that. Once I left and was able to help my old neighborhood in ways I couldn't before. it is an ongoing struggle, if you will. The ones who attack me before now see the bigger picture I made life as an example for them to see. Some don't, some get it, some don't. Yeah, and everybody's not going to get it. You know that. Everybody's not going to get it. Everybody's not going to get it. They are not. They are not. I'm Ghanaian living in England. I don't see any special living in the West. Listen, listen, listen. It is what it is. Hello, Stephen. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see what we got going on here. I'm trying to see these comments. Okay, you all talking with each other. Thank you, Dr. Wraith. Thank you, Dr. Wraith. And my girl Liz says, yes, and I had family members who had lost all the return to Enron. The biggest, yes, yes. That's what I'm saying, Liz. You know, because, you know, we're Texans. We know how they hit first at home. And so I can't, when the people with the scamming, I mean, I can go down a whole line of companies that people had been working there for years and had their money locked up into these 401ks. And they lost everything and had to go back and work menial jobs because nobody, even if they had degrees, no one would hire them at their age. See how they work? See how they work? Gemini Class says, why do men say their cars are beautiful, but their women are strong? Heard this and thought, things that make you go, The home of the punching skin. Matt Kappa is going crazy. Yes, yes, indeed. You better know it. Yes, all day, every day. All day, every day. Listen, I know this. I know this. But it's some people in the chat that don't know this. And they're thinking that, you know, it's all sweet. I'm just saying. I'm saying, no matter the cause, I don't have one but a strong woman means I'll be in touch. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome. If you all have not checked out Blind Guy, His Life, The Wife, you go over to their channel. They be having some good guests over there. And I got to catch up. I have got to catch up. I have got to catch up. Okay, and XDMC say, what messed up with Enron is that no one ever really paid a price for that. No, they didn't. But the people who had already put their money in there, bro, they lost everything. They lost everything. It's kind of like, who remembers, there was a story, I can't remember how long ago this has been, but this was about some real estate stuff and how people were paying off people who working in public office to get people to go out and value properties in certain areas higher than others so people could sell them at these egregious prices. And people who were on the opposite side who normally had like high prices, their house prices were high, the prices began to plummet. And you had people, they probably didn't have like these elaborate big retirements and stuff, but they're going to sell their homes and take the proceeds from those sales to basically live off of. Well, when that came through the pipeline, all that was thrown out the window. Their houses were worth nothing because they had been paying off all these local government workers and stuff to inflate prices elsewhere and dropping and making theirs go down. It's all over the place. It is all over the place. All over. Listen. I do too. I do too. Hello. Miss Conversation says friends and family sometimes are unable to express their true emotions. That's true. I will agree to that. But even having the fear of the unknown should not preclude them. Should preclude them from saying you shouldn't be going here and there because all you've been doing is watching negative propaganda. You know? Yeah. Jose Cruz says, we need to gather together wherever they are in any way we can to build a greater nation where we can thrive in enemy territory. Well, hey. Hello. Thank you. And Savvy Entrepreneur says, so many get burned by the 401k scam. Listen. Hey, you know what's going on with that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. We're in this blind man's bluff, not because Corey's blind, but it's the way the West always been pulling the wool over him. Of course. Of course. Of course it is. Of course it is. Of course. I agree. Stephen says, I have a lot of African Americans in Germany who want to come back to the motherland and ask them, why did it take them this long to come back home? Western, yes, it is. But Stephen, that goes the same with our continental African brothers and sisters as well. That goes the same with them as well. It is. Because as I just said earlier, you have a lot of them speaking on the West as if they've been there and they haven't. Because they're, I always talk about patriotism. That's why patriotism is so important for us. That's why. Because for us as Americans, and anybody in here that's American can attest to this, that is indoctrinated in us from the time we exit our mothers. And so we will do things that we probably likely normally wouldn't do because of this patriotism. And so we need continental Africans to be patriots for their own homeland as well. We do. We need that. That builds character in everything. It builds a love for your nation in everything, A lot of times we put so much emphasis in sports and we need to be putting it into our own patriotism, but we don't. Something to think about. Okay, something to think about. Let's see, my brother XDMC. What a little about what you're doing is that you show that life. You show this possible. Yes. You're welcome. X. And there's been other YouTubers here that have said this. But see, people want to play stupid games and get stupid prizes. They want to make like they go to all these countries and they can't have the same caliber of lifestyle that they had in the West, which we all know is a bald-faced lie. But the problem is you have an idea from media that Alkebulan is so decimated and poor, you want everything on the cheap. But you're not asking for everything on the cheap from whence you cometh. See, we have our wires and delusions crossed up. We have our wires and delusions crossed all the way up. Because we truly think that, and then you want the same things that you had at home with no premium cost to it. But when they walk into Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Hermes, and Yves Saint Laurent, they ain't giving you no discount. They don't even have no sales. But y'all going there paying top dollar for that. It's astounding. It is astounding at some of the madness that we do. It is astounding. Astounding. And so, I don't even push off. And my sister Cherie, she can tell you, I'm B1. I try to be B1 in everything I do, and until I can't. Meaning buying what I have from Black-owned folks until I cannot. That is my life. I live this for real. No matter where I am, I live this for real. Okay? And even if it costs me a premium to get designers that I'm used to elsewhere, to get it shipped in, that's what I'm doing. I've done it. I've paid exorbitant amounts of shipping costs to get what I want, to patronize these businesses. But most of you, even in this chat, you are not willing to do that. You're not. So, but the ones who do it and the ones who don't do it, then you're going to complain. Well, I got the money. I can, you do. But that small Black-owned businesses suffer, especially with what's been going on. A lot of them have shut down. So there are nice Black designers that make some nice stuff, especially for women. I'm going to speak for women, especially for women. Okay? And a lot of times you all don't know about them until one of your favorite singers or something wears the stuff. I'm going to give you an example. Pharrell. I've been knowing about her for years. But the minute Beyonce gonna put it on, this woman done blew up. But she's been in business for years. Her stuff has been legit. And yes, her price point is high because of what she does. But my point is that we're not patronizing these people until one of these stars, because these stars go out and buy all this stuff, but they don't really patronize these people like that. Mm-mm. When they have these red carpet events, they're not in these dresses by these folks. And we got some serious tailors and clothing designers that can make all this stuff in their own image and way. But we would rather patronize somebody else. Give them $3,000, $4,000 for a gown that you're going to wear for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. That's what we do. That's what we do. So we are our biggest detriment at times. We are. And none of this is new. This stuff been going around since the 50s and the 60s. There's nothing new to this. I'm not telling you anything that's new. Nothing. Nothing I'm saying and telling you is new. Okay? Because remember, our brother Malcolm was doing stuff like this long before my parents decided to have me. Okay? Long before. So that's nothing new. But you folk want acceptance from people. And all I want to do is be around my own kind. That's all I want. That's all. I find it to be very simplistic. Now, maybe I'm naive for that. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. But there are so many Black-owned businesses that make quality clothing. I mean, nice stuff. But are you going to pay the price point and stop complaining? Or do you want to keep going over here buying all this other stuff? Diara Blue, and I got lots of stuff by her. And she's out of Senegal. There's people out here. There's people out here. Yes, indeed. We'll come up on I'm going to read some more comments before we get off. Let's see what we got here. Let me go back up. Let's go back us. Let's see here. Okay. So Zoo and Shayna Femi said, thank you. You're welcome. And my bro said, yes, of course they did. They lied to us. Well, some of you right. Exactly. Knowledge seeker. The same attitude of wanting everything cheap even transcends to Black-owned businesses. When it's Black-owned businesses, they don't respect their prices. Yeah, I agree. No, I totally agree with you. Because we think that everyone's supposed to give us a discount. But Louis Vuitton does not have sales. See, but y'all in there giving them people thousands of your dollars. Hermes not having any sales. I mean, I'm just saying for the church. If they having a sale, drop the link in the chat. Tell me about the sale. Of course it will. Of course it will. But all these celebrities too, they brainwashed. And then you all follow up behind them. Malcolm done told you stop following up behind these people. They mean us no good. Because they have to sell an image and propaganda. Okay? Look at my sister here. Hey. Thank you. Hey, Frank. Hey, Mr. Untouchable. Listen, health is wealth. The more healthy I am, the richer I get. So I need to be healthy. Okay? so I can YouTube at my leisure. You are hilarious. Okay? That the real me is really and truly for us at whatever cost. It's implicit that we are. Yes, to our own. So we have to be about. And that is it. And that is it right there. That is it. Because again, everybody's not going to make this move. And I'm okay with that. This ain't for everybody. But at the end of the day, if you are going to stay in whatever station you are in, you need to support these businesses all the time. Listen, when I had my child care center, I've always been a coupon person, right? You go to the store, you double up your coupons and all this stuff, right? This is a real quick story. So most business owners are not doing this stuff when they have to go get stuff for their businesses, right? Listen, I will go buy 3 and 4 newspapers, get to cutting out these coupons because I want to double up. Certain things, of course, I could not get. I still had other vendors that would give me commercial supplies, like commercial cleaning stuff. Okay. But I would be doing that. But I would not do that when it comes to other businesses that look like us. They are trying to hustle for their customer. They're trying to hustle for their customer so that they can stay in business. Understand the value in that. It's value in that. When you think about all of the Black Wall Streets that were all over America, because people try to make it like there was only 2, and they were all over America. Just beautifulness and us patronizing them all the time to keep these businesses going. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, let's see what Stephen says. When Westerns were talking about how they have freedom, I left with the real freedom and sense of community can be found in any time I come to Ghana, I feel the joy of myself. That is so true. They talk about the freedoms, these implied freedoms that are constantly being stripped away. You can watch the current news cycle right now today and see it's being stripped away. Okay? You can't even tell somebody that they're ugly. You can't, because it's basically you're infringing on their rights and all this stuff now. You can't even raise your children to think man, woman. Your rights are slowly being stripped away. Everything is becoming unnatural. Foel, F-O-E-L. Eric, F-O-E-L. Thank you. Everyone isn't in the right state of mind to. I just said that. You have to unlearn and heal from the miseducation, oppression, etc. I totally agree. I said that earlier. You must have just came in. I said that earlier. Mm-hmm. Of course, by design. But see, a documentary years ago and was talking about how these governments create a lot of these catastrophes. Okay. But you can read, what is it? Let me see over here. The color of money and see how they created that problem. Just saying. Yes. What you say? Let's see. Yeah, of course we can. Of course. The biggest problem in Africa is how emancipating ourselves from resting into slavery, but we will get there. Yes. My brother Frank says Black people are so comfortable to spend his or her money with other. Yes, Frank. You're excellent at providing, free marketing to people who would prefer. Oh, you better speak on it. Of course, at all costs. Of course. Yes, it is. Sister. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hello, Donnie goes in. How are you, my bro? I totally agree. Health is wealth. That's going to make me very rich once I get completely healthy. Mm-hmm. But so this is very true. You mentioned health is wealth. Many people stay in the States for health care from the disease place given them. Listen, now, we had already discussed about the poison food supply. We've already talked about that. Yeah. So you are totally right. My bro says you need healthcare in the States because they make exactly. That's why you need it. Exactly. That's why you need it. In the West, you have the freedom to be anything other than self. Yes. Oh, I like this knowledge seeker. I like this. The freedom to be anything other than yourself. Oh, I'm going to change the title of this video to this comment right here. Yes, I am. I want to tell you guys, we're a little over an hour. I want to thank you guys for joining me here today. I probably will be on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays to do a quick live. But I got a video tomorrow I think you're going to enjoy. I got a video tomorrow that I think you're going to enjoy. I do. So before we tune out, I'm going to play the quick commercial. You can hear my voice, and then we will be out. Here we go. When you are looking for today's hottest flip-flop and shoe accessories, there's just one place to go. shopknickknacks.com. That's shopknickknacks.com. Why shop any place else? Our quality and prices will have you coming back for more. We take pride in our souls and we love our soul sisters. shopknickknacks.com.